is the content, or because the gamification topic is quite big, and I will try to quickly present you the most important emphasis. So within this learning module, so gamification is, in my opinion, one of the most powerful tools to engage students, workers, managers to perform their work better. So it's a bit, it triggers psychological mechanisms because you know, we are constantly bored and there are not many of things that interests us. So within this model, you will find out about engagement mechanisms. Then you will learn where you can use this kind of skills. So where can you use gamification methods in your work? Then you will find out which gamification mechanisms exist, which tools you can use, and how to improve remote team engagement and motivation using gamification mechanisms. So I will start with the boring definition, and then I will. Everybody is familiar with computer games, and this is the perfect example how the designers of computer games implemented gamification mechanisms to be very engaging. All of you, if you have kids or colleagues who play games, you know that are pretty addictive. Yeah, and why is that? Because they are including many this so-called gamification mechanisms. But we're not here to talk about computer games. We're here to talk about how to make our courses and workplaces more engaging. So the point is that many of these gamification mechanisms used in computer games can be used also in everyday life to improve the motivation. Okay, so I will continue with a question for you to think about a bit. So the question is, which is most heavily gamified workplace? And you know it well.
Educator?
Yes, education and academia in general. Yeah. Okay, so I will go on with a short explanation. The most well-known gamification mechanisms in gamification are PBL, so-called points, badges, and leaderboards. So this is one of the most well-known mechanisms, but there are, I don't know, 50 others. So how are they implemented in academia careers? So let's think about points for a second. So when you write articles, you probably get points and citations. These are all examples of points mechanism. Also badges. You know, when you play games, you get various badges, but also when you're employed in academia, you get various badges or titles like lecturer, professor, assistant professor, honorary, and so on. What about the leaderboards? So leaderboards are the rankings, and also in academia, you probably heard of this Shanghai University ranking. This is one of the example of leaderboards. So if you weren't aware of that you were heavily gamified, now you are. Yeah. Okay. Joke aside, this is one of the examples of gamification of the workplace, which is very implicit and we are not aware of it. So many of the companies are also using gamification mechanisms for engaging or getting more customers. Here you can see one example of Slovenian insurance company, which is using a mobile application to promote safe driving. So if you install this application, on your mobile phone, and this application then tracks your acceleration, your speed limits, and so on, and then converts this your driving style to points. And if you gather certain amount of points, then your car insurance is lower. Yeah, and this is very popular application here in Slovenia. Another example, Duolingo. Who plays or who uses Duolingo to learn languages? Yeah, just give me a thumbs up or something. Yeah. Anybody uses Duolingo? Yeah, Cornelia. Yeah, thank you. You raised a hand or you just thumbs up, Cornelia?
Yes, actually, I tried to use it. I stopped for a while, but I tried in order to learn Hungarian. And actually, it's learning. I'm angry with me because I was not really consistent in continuing. But Duolingo is something that is really working, and it's rewarding, and it's playful, and I liked it. I hope I'm going to get back to it.
Yes, thank you, Cornelia. Yeah, for me also works because of these gamification mechanisms. You know, with daily streaks, you get a notification if you don't finish your lesson every day, and then you lose a daily streak and so on. So yeah, I've managed to learn a bit of Italian, and now also trying to Romanian. You know, because it's really fun. And they really got me using these various gamification mechanisms. And also our kids are using it, and sometimes we are competing in points. And there's also an additional effect that you learn language. And yeah, let's move to the third example. It's gamification of the family, of family course. You know, kids don't like to do family course, wash dishes, and so on. So we invented, this is already 10 years ago, we gamified this family course, daily course, and we stick a paper on the fridge using table with a table of tasks, and when kids perform their task, they get some stamps, and then we had some leaderboards here under it. So the kid with the most stamp get a bonus, for example, a small edible gift or something small. Yeah. So the effect was, yeah, nobody wanted to be left behind, so they somehow competed in daily course, and yeah, the house was yeah, in order. But now they're older. This kind of gamification mechanism don't work anymore. Yeah, that was 10 years ago when they were smaller. Okay, so I presented you three examples. Then I will not go through the details. I will just show you one of the most prominent or well-known frameworks which you can use to gamify your courses or something. So it's UKI chose Octalysis framework. Maybe if you haven't heard it, yeah, you can also buy a book, or it's a very big book with all this gamification mechanisms explained. So let me remind you that points, badges, and leaderboards is really a small and mechanic part of the gamification. Here you will find more intrinsic or more psychology-related mechanisms like epic meaning. So we are all looking for meaning in our work to make sense of it. So empowerment. So we always want to strive to be better. And if I go on, we all want to accomplish some goals and win some rewards. We also like to have ownership of our work. So I'm the most happy if I'm self-directed at my work. Also, social influence works. So if my colleague is doing something good, I'm also motivated to do it better. And scarcity of resources, you know, fear of missing out. You're all familiar with it. Yeah. unpredictability. This triggers curiosity in our minds, and also avoidance is one of the mechanisms. So we are avoiding unpleasant feelings and things. So I will not go into details. Maybe explain more at our live trainers event, just to give you a short glimpse of these mechanisms. Okay, I will go to example. So the last example of gamification in e-learning course, here you can see on the real example, how can we evaluate or give points for each achievement? For example, when the student logins already get some points, or when he or she completes the lesson, or submits the assignment, or discusses a topic, and so on. So each activity can bring some points to motivate students to participate in e-learning. And this kind of mechanism is already implemented in Talent LMS learning management system, for example. Learning pathway, as we defined it in this project, is also an example of gamification. So the student has a clear way where to continue. I already have some other examples, but I will conclude at this point, and thank you for your attention, and any questions maybe at the end or now, as you like it. Thank you.